Welcome back, grapplers. Major surgery doesn't mean your jiu-jitsu journey is over. It just means the path looks different now. I'm the Silver Grappler, and today I'm sharing the 10 hard-earned lessons from training BJJ after major surgery, so you or someone you care about can keep rolling smart, safe, and strong. So, Doc, can I go back to training tomorrow? Let me give you a bit about what I've had to deal with in the last few months. So, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer about 2 years ago, and I recently had some surgery, I would say 3 months ago now, something called nano knife, which was a partial removal of the prostate. I suffered. It was supposed to be 3 to 4 weeks. Actually, I was told 2 to 3 weeks, but 3 to 4 weeks to be conservative of being out, and I was promised or told that I would be back on the mats and things would be back to normal rather quickly from a health perspective. Unfortunately, ran into some difficulties post-surgery, actually caught E. coli, who knows how that happened, which led to a bunch of other complications, which meant I was essentially bedridden for well over 2 months, had a catheter for over 2 months. And it's been about 3 weeks now since I've started to feel great. I would say been back on the mats for 2.5 of those weeks, which I'm thrilled about. I can't really, and back to hard rolls. So end of last week and this week so far, I've had some really good rolls. I'm definitely lost a bit of a step, but being able to roll hard means the world to me. So I don't quite have the stamina, don't quite have the strength, but things are looking good. So I'm going to give you a bunch of 10 lessons or 10 thoughts you should have in returning back to full-time training, which I think is super important because part of being out for an extended time, and we're not talking, just major life-threatening cancer type surgeries, any surgery, knee surgery. We have a guy at the gym who had some back surgery, things that take you out for quite a long time. And it's funny, I had cancer removed, piece of my prostate removed, but I'm back on the mats faster than some of the guys with reconstructed knees who have to take their time, who have a much longer healing period than I do. But the 10 tips will be a benefit for everyone. So let's get to tip number 1. Listen to your surgeon. They will let you know when you're ready to get back on the mats. Don't rush. You can't take a chance of re-aggravating, re-injuring, especially with the knee back. For me, it was sort of my lower region. I couldn't really do any heavy lifting, heavy weights, so I really had to start off slow. Got the okay from my doctor to, start light duty and start building up from there. And I touched base with him. He was really cool about it, again, because of all the complications that I had. I was talking to him about every 4 or 5 days just to check in and let him know how I feel and kind of get the green light to move forward. Now he's just like, yeah, if you feel good, keep moving forward. Hence the intensified training and back at the gym, lifting some weights. As soon as you can, you don't want to jump into, you definitely don't want to jump into sparring. So tip number 2, start with movements. Don't worry about drilling. Don't worry about rolling. Just stretch. Start with stretches. With most surgeries, your doctor will give you a bunch of exercises. There's a ton of exercises available on the internet for your specific ailment that you can do. Take your time with it. Go slow. Stretch. This is a slow process. Again, you don't want to do anything that's going to set you back and keep you off the mats even longer. So start very slowly. Start with stretching. Start with basic movements. Start with jiu-jitsu specific movements, then move into calisthenics, and then move into very light weights. And only then should you start, once those things start feeling good, start the light drilling on the mats. Number 3, reevaluate your game. So after major surgery, you're going to have to make adjustments to your game. So years ago, my major adjustment, nothing to do with this surgery, I had to make an adjustment at around 45, 46 years old. I was always a stand-up. My background's wrestling, and I used to be one of those guys. I'm never pulling guard, never pulling guard. A couple of good knee injuries that took me out for an extended period of time kind of forced me to change that attitude, to change my what am I doing with the most recent surgery? Well, I'm definitely, because the lower region of my body's not the same yet. I'm not going to go inverted as much. I'm not going to try to lift my opponent on top of me and then pick them up, especially bigger guys. So I have to be very cognizant on how I'm lifting people and how I'm moving people. It's not even an option right now to do any stand-up, except against my son, who's an 11-year-old. He's getting big, but at least I can kind of handle any falls that I might have or twists that are unexpected. And I'm thinking it's going to have to stay that way for a long time. You may have to adjust your guards. You may have to switch sides. So if you have chronic injuries on one of your knees, and let's say you like butterfly from your left side and your left knee is the one that's injured, well, that's the lifting knee. So, but you love butterfly. So what are your options? Or you love half guard from that side. So what are your options? Well, you can change sides. So start drilling the opposite side and see if that works for you. But definitely you don't want to keep doing the same movements that could be causing you a potential pain or sudden impact. So adjust your game accordingly. Number 4. Private lessons versus open mats. Well, avoid open mats. Let's be quite frank about that. Open mats are probably the most dangerous time for someone coming back from surgery. You're just getting a variety of people that show up to open mat, and sort of the biggest risk, especially for me, is when you're fighting someone or training with someone bigger than you. To me, that's the highest risk. For me, older grappler, younger, lower belt, and bigger, those are the danger zones. So as I feel more comfortable, again, those are the people I want to train with, right? But my body's not there, so I have to be mentally strong and just kind of pick my partners, which, and again, if you can't afford private lessons, not all of us can afford private lessons, just, follow the next item, number 5, which is choose your partners wisely. Choose the partners that you trust. So, I'm trying to pick on lower belts. I'm trying to pick on the older crowd, guys that I can control a lot easier. But from the trust side, those guys aren't always available. So I'll pick a higher belt that might be bigger than me, but I trust them. I have a conversation with them. So I'm still training with the black belts as an example. One of my very close buddies, Big Brian, black belt, seasoned black belt, amazing grappler, but he's got to be about 210, 215. Asked me to roll the other day, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better. I said, buddy, my issue. Like, here's what I can and can't do. Let's have some fun. Man, we had last Friday, which was about 5 days ago, we had the best roll I've had to date. Yeah, he pushed me, but he didn't try to dominate me. When he saw kind of risky positions and he saw me go for a sweep, he went with the sweep, and he countered me. And, big boy still leg locked me 3 times, which kind of got me, a little bit heated and going back at him. But I knew better. Like I was going to get caught. He caught it nice and clean. And again, I trusted him. At the end of the roll, I was huffing and puffing, but what a great roll, right? So, if you're a lower belt, you may want to consider kind of rolling with higher belts. Brown and black belts can really control their game. Most of them will roll to your level and roll to your knees, and happy to do so. So don't be shy. Be very picky about your opponents while you're healing. Number 6, track your progress. So some people like keeping logs, some people like keeping a mental tally of how things are going. Track your pains, track your exhaustion, track your mobility, and overall feeling. How do you feel after the training session? How do you feel the next day? Hey man, if you've been out of action, you might have forgotten what that felt like the next day to have your body go through a good training session. But actually, there's no better feeling than that from a mental perspective and a physical perspective. But really track things very closely and monitor it. If you're getting a certain pain that you're not too sure about, stop everything and ask your physician or your chiropractor or whoever you're working with, and talk about that pain or that sensation that you're feeling before moving further. Again, you've had some serious surgery. Don't risk going backwards, okay? If you have to slow down, slow down. Number 7, mind the scar tissue. So you don't want those explosive movements. You want to kind of build through it. Keep stretching. I can't emphasize how important stretching is now. Stretching is super important for the youngest athletes and the healthiest athletes. But the older you get, and as these injuries are building up and major surgery happens, stretching is going to be your best friend. You got to stretch through the scar tissue and make that area healthy and make it accustomed to the activity of movements that you're trying to do. And again, you don't want to explode to certain positions for the first time after a surgery. You want to build up to it. So the stretching is going to get you there even further, and it's going to lower the risk of injury. Number 8, don't rush the big stuff. A perfect example that I even mentioned earlier is stand-up. If you like stand-up, don't rush to get to stand-up. Now's the time to kind of work your guard game. If you've had a knee injury, back injury, or a serious surgery like I had, stand-up and the big impacts are probably the most dangerous thing that you can do. Massive scrambling. You don't have to win. Okay, you're coming back from a major injury. You don't have to win. And I found myself in my roles a bit concerned because, again, I don't want to feel like the way I felt a few months ago. So I'm letting people pass. I'm not overstretching. I'm not fighting tooth and nail to win a position. I'm okay with working my defense. You guys may have watched my 2 previous videos to this as I'm talking about Running Man and Turtle, which are perfect defensive positions that I'm going to a lot right now. So I happen to be working on those particular defensive positions and escapes associated with them. And man, I'm getting good at it again. I forgot all about it. I've been on the attack for so long. I forgot how you can use defensive positions and counter and turn them into attack positions. So it's been a bit of a revelation. It's been exciting that I'm kind of rebuilding my game again. So super important. So again, don't rush the big stuff. Don't be in a hurry to get to the big stuff. Fuel your recovery. Eat properly. Take the vitamins. Take your medication. Don't miss out on that. You've got to monitor your body very closely. Keep it healthy. Keep the protein intake high. Monitor your intake and make sure all that's supposed to be working is working. Look at your supplement intake as well. Whether it's multivitamin, iron, whatever you're accustomed to using. You should talk to your physician about what you should be taking. Do some regular blood work and get some feedback on what you're missing. And again, your health is so important. Number 10, redefine what winning means. So you're not going to come back from a major surgery and win every single match that you have, especially if you're a lower belt. It's probably even more challenging when you're a lower belt just coming back. You're going to get squashed. You were getting squashed to begin with by the higher belts. Well, what does it mean now? You're going to keep getting squashed, but you have to, it's all about those small victories. It's being able to defend. Hey, I defended that choke. Hey, I escaped that side control. Those are huge victories when you're coming up the ranks. So, redefine it and readjust it on an ongoing basis. Every role is different. Maybe if you're going with a trusting partner, but they're a little bit younger than you, or they're a little bit more explosive, maybe winning is just being able to breathe after the role. Also look at it from a drilling perspective. Go in there with a plan and go into class with a plan, execute your plan. That's a win. You're working a move. Hey, trying the move that you're working on during a roll is a win. So there's lots of opportunities to find wins as you're healing. So final thoughts. I hope you got something from those 10 items. But BJJ isn't just for the healthy and unbroken. It's for the resilient. You need to get yourself back on the mats. You also have to realize, especially for me, you know, I always realize it when I stay away from Jiu-Jitsu for an extended period of time. Jiu-Jitsu to me is also my way of managing my mental health. Being able to, you know, use all my energy, use everything I can, get away from the stresses of life, talk to my training partners, focus on Jiu-Jitsu. Mental health will lead to your body getting healthier as well. It's so key. So take your time when you're coming back, but get back on the mats. It's the best thing. It's a way of life. Jiu-Jitsu is not just a martial art. Hey, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna learn how to kick butt and choke people out. No, it's a long journey to black belt and beyond. It's a physical health, it's mental health, and there's always lows and highs in Jiu-Jitsu. And just the major thing I'll leave you with is you need to enjoy the journey. I hope you got a little bit of insight that could potentially help you after some major surgery or some major injuries. Thank you for joining the channel. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and leave me some feedback. I always love when you guys let me know what you're thinking. And if you have any ideas of future videos you'd like to see, let me know. Thank you very much. Have a great day, gang.